Hey everybody, welcome to PC Perspective. We are here today with another AMD-sponsored game stream. This is where we play some of the latest games, especially those ones included in the Never Settle Reloaded bundles. We talk about the game technology with AMD. We'll demo some of the single-player campaign. We'll give away some prizes, which I know people are very apt to pay attention to. We have a pair of Radeon HD 7870 graphics cards, one from Gigabyte and one from MSI. And we also have 3 game key sets. Now, Robert, I guess we never really discussed beforehand which game key sets these were. Do we want to give away the Tomb Raider plus Bioshock or the Bioshock plus Crisis keys?
I have an abundance of Tomb Raider and Bioshock keys on hand, and those seem to be really highly rated, so let's go with those. All
right, sounds good. Now, if you're watching this on video and you notice that Robert's face didn't move while he was talking to us there, that's we were using a still image in place of Robert's Skype video thanks to some technical difficulties, either caused by computer hardware or bitrate limitations crossing the border between the U.S. and Canada.
Swamp gas, Venus.
The oil spill in Arkansas, maybe it could be any of that's causing this. So, all right, so here's what we're going to do. Today we're going to play Bioshock. Bioshock Infinite, I guess I should say. And we are going to get into the single-player campaign, probably no more than 45 minutes or so. So you'll be spoiled up until that point, but it's fairly early in the game. I have played up through about 2 to 2.5 hours of Bioshock Infinite earlier today and didn't... I don't think this first 45 minutes to an hour or whatever is really going to change your viewpoint on whether you want to play the game. It's a very, very good game so far. It deals with some powerful issues as the first Bioshock did as well. But yeah, so let's start out with that. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show off the integrated benchmark mode first, Robert. And I'll remind people, if you want to enter the contest, all you have to do is go to pcper.com/Bioshock. That's the news post that talks about this game stream. And go to the bottom. There will be a form there now where you can fill out your name, your email address, your country of residence, which is important just so we know exactly which game key sets to send you. And then the open-ended question, which, Robert, I thought was appropriate. Would you kindly?
Would you kindly?
Would you kindly?
Sorry.
So let's jump into that. Now, I'm going to double-click. So there's 2 things. One, I installed the Bioshock Infinite through Steam. If you double-click the shortcut on the desktop, it goes right into the game. But if you open it through the library in Steam, you get 2 options. You get the Play Bioshock Infinite or Launch Bioshock Infinite benchmarking utility. Now, what experience do you have with this benchmark utility, Robert?
A little bit. The benchmark utility was something that Irrational Games really wanted because they recognize that when you build a benchmark into a title, it tends to get picked up by review sites such as PCPer. The game review sites that are interested in graphics card performance are more interested in looking at it. Mm-hmm. So it was something that they felt was important to their title. And hey, I'm all for systematic benchmarking, so I'm glad it's there.
It's pretty cool. When you run it, it's actually a command level thing. You can actually see the command line initialization of it that it shows you in there, and it brings up your little menu like choose graphics quality you want to use. Do you want to use, option 1 is what's currently set in the game if you've already been run the game. 2 is kind of like the Ultra DX11 with diffusion depth of field, and then there's very high, medium, low, and very low. So it's pretty cool to be able to select those on the fly. I'm going to go ahead and pick number 2 here, the Ultra DX11 diffusion depth of field option. And it says, would you like to choose custom resolution or use the current user settings? And I'll just go ahead and use the current user settings. And then it actually launches the game. So we'll show a little bit of the benchmark mode here. Now, this is kind of an interesting title in that it seems a little bit different than what we saw with Tomb Raider a month ago or so. Now, I know you weren't actually on that stream with us. Antal was, but we won't hold that against you right now.
Oh, thanks.
What technologies in Bioshock Infinite kind of stand out from a graphical standpoint? Something that makes it stand out from the console games into becoming a high-end PC title.
Sure, there's 5 big ones. The first is the texture. Well, I should say 6. The first is that the texture resolution is much, much higher on the PC. On the PC version, I believe if you are silly enough to buy it in stores, it comes on like 3 DVDs, whereas they cram the entire game onto one disc in the console version.
Okay.
That also had a knock-on effect with the game audio. The audio is very noticeably downsampled on the console version, whereas you have the fully mastered experience on the PC. And then to round out the list, DirectX 11 is unique to the PC version. It's the first Bioshock game that has DirectX 11. And then in that, there's diffusion depth of field, which simulates the focal length of a camera. There's contact hardening shadows, which simulates shadows softening as they move away from an object, and high definition ambient occlusion, which makes shadowing better when objects are placed close together. And all 6 of those are unique to the PC version, and Irrational themselves will tell you that the PC version is by far the definitive Bioshock Infinite experience, so we're pretty happy about that.
Very cool. Okay, so the benchmark completed. I didn't actually look at the end result, but I do like it gives you a good collection of data. I think it gives you minimum, maximum, and average frame rates every half of a second, and then actually kind of breaks up the information even more into more segmented parts of that. It's actually a really good, easy way to get some performance data out of the game. So I'm going to go ahead and load up the actual game here as we get through the opening sequences. Now, are we getting game audio? I'm not getting any audio back at me, Ken, if we can adjust that. So I think most people who are viewing this know a little bit about the history of Bioshock Infinite, the development up to it. The idea is that it's a city in the clouds, kind of it's supposed to be a utopian society, much like in the original Bioshock, it was supposed to have been a utopian society that goes wrong. And that's definitely the case here. Just a little bit more for me. That's good. So we'll go jump into the options. I think you mentioned all the high points here, Robert, in terms of what graphical improvements there are to this. So we're running on the Ultra preset, as you would kind of expect. And people who see the frame counter on the right-hand side, it is locked at 60. We do have VSync, or what they call in the menu, lock frame rate option enabled, because of the visual tearing and how that affects live streaming and that kind of thing.
Yep.
So let's see, where do we have here? Quality level is set to presets of Ultra, but then if you change it, let's see, where is that at? You can actually change texture filtering, dynamic shadows, post-processing, light shafts, ambient occlusion, object level detail, and brightness that goes up. But we have everything pegged to the top. I'm guessing as you would like us to have, right, Robert?
Sure. I mean, the thing about the game is it's DirectX 11. There are some really good technologies built into the game, but the majority of the beauty of Bioshock is simply in the art direction, the quality of the textures, the composition of the textures. So it's a really pretty game, even if you don't have all those features on. But conversely, it's actually not all that demanding from a technological perspective.
I do have inverted mouse on because that's the correct way to play games.
Dude, that's the worst.
Somebody in the chat already asked why we were streaming at 1080p instead of 25 by 14 or something, and that's, again, because we're sending this out to a stream, so not only would it not make any sense to play it at 25 by 14, but we actually can't play it at 25 by 14 and then stream the gameplay out. So let's jump into, and I'm going to go ahead and start a new game. I think after playing the first couple of hours, I think this is the best way to go about it. You get a little bit, and I'm going to play it on easy because I'm a wuss like that, and I don't want to waste any streaming time by dying over and over and over and over again.
Are you sure you can still murder everyone in the easiest mode?
I hope so. Otherwise, I don't know why I'm playing.
Also known as the Medal of Honor tactic.
Oh, yeah. So some of the deaths in this game are surprisingly gruesome.
It's pretty nasty.
Surprisingly gruesome, I think. Now, in the chat, let me know if you're having any issues with the game audio once we get started here. If it needs to go up or down.
Are we still using an Ares 2? The chat is asking.
The Ares 2 is in another system. We are using the Asus Matrix Radeon HD 7970. We don't have a camera pointed at it today, do we? All of our cameras are rearranged from over the past couple of weeks. So we have the Radeon HD 7970. It's a gigahertz edition card, essentially, but it's the Matrix version. So 3 slots, incredibly overclockable, but also very quiet at the same time.
I just installed one of those myself in my system, like, not more than 3 days ago, and I am totally in love with this graphics card. It's so quiet.
It is. It's great. And it has native 6 outputs on it as well, if you want to go that way. Yeah, it's good stuff. So did you play the first Bioshock, Robert?
Yes, although it's been so long, I don't remember much, aside from the creepy environment and the fact that it was revolutionary at the time. I don't remember much else. It was a great game. That much I do remember.
Yeah, it was. Bioshock was kind of...
I see what you mean.
At the time, for me, it was the first game that I desperately wanted to complete all the way. Like, I wanted to finish the game. A lot of times, especially being in the job that you and I are kind of in, where we play a lot of games for maybe short periods of time, or we play the same portion of it over and over again, and that kind of stuff. It doesn't really happen where a game grabs me and makes me need to finish it to completion.
Yeah, you know, it's when I first got into Bioshock, in that first scene where it drops you in the water and you're swimming to those ruins that are just sticking out of the surface of the water, and there's no context. Just that first half hour of gameplay with the crazy dystopian voiceover, it was the first time I'd ever played a first-person shooter and really wanted to complete the single-player mission. I'd played my fair share of Dooms and Duke Nukems and all the things that had come before it, but Bioshock was different, and that's the same vibe I got when I sat down to play Infinite. I knew that I was in for a good story. And I'm only about an hour and a half in. I've played some since last night, but I'm definitely interested in playing more, and it's hooked me in a way that a lot of other games haven't.
Right. You know, it may come off sounding like a knock on the game, but the game is still very, very good looking, but they don't depend on that like maybe some of the other games in the PC market will, right? So the gameplay and the art style and then the story are really, I think, more powerful than most other games on the market, right? I mean, so the reviews came out of this, and we saw 10 out of 10s and 5 out of 5s from the game review sites and that kind of stuff, which says a lot, I think.
Well, yeah, I looked at Metacritic, I think maybe a week ago now, and if you sorted the PC ratings all time from top to bottom, Bioshock Infinite was in the top 5. And that site goes back to like 1991 or something like that.
Yeah.
So an incredible history there, and you don't get to that ranking without having a good story and believable characters. So I knew right away that I was in for a treat.
And there's such a great attention to detail. There's several places when I was playing today where, like here, there's a map of the continental U.S. and you see some kind of plotted diagram, right? And I'm guessing this is kind of the Cloud Cities move across the states and that kind of stuff. And there's all kinds of detail that shows up that would be really easy to kind of just run right past and overlook. That Irrational Games has done a great job of. And as with Bioshock, you always find money and you just take it, which is great.
Okay, let's see. There's a discussion ongoing in chat that's near and dear to my heart about frame rates. About DVD being 2896. It's actually 23976, I believe.
Okay.
But about the perception of 30 or 60 frames per second. So the human eye can actually see hundreds of frames per second. The U.S. Navy has done a visual acuity test where it interleaves objects, colored objects, into a series of 500 frames in a second. And a large majority of the people tested can actually see and correctly identify these objects, this one frame in 500. The reason why cinema works so well at 23976 is because one frame is blurred into the next. The same way if you shake your hand in front of your face, you get a blurry image. But why it looks so slow on a PC is because each frame is a static image. There's no blending from frame to frame, which is why 40 frames looks better than 30 and 60 looks better than 40 and so on. There is a drop-off point. 60 is ideal. But that's why frames per second are near and dear to my heart. There's a lot of FUD out there about that topic.
The scene here in the top of the lighthouse with the bells reminded me of, what did I say earlier? Close Encounters. Playing music with the aliens.
The thing that I like about Bioshock is that it has taken all these uncomfortable elements of our past, our not too distant past, and exaggerated them and made them into something we can look back on and cringe at, saying, oh God, how were we that backwards? But at the same time, you can totally see how, if the technology had existed, how this kind of thing could have happened. And I think I like the believable part of Bioshock Infinite the most, where you sit down and go, wow, this really fits the time period. Everything seems right. There's nothing out of place. The characters are right. I don't know. There's something about it that's very authentic and convincing.
Damn it!
I do like the politeness of this voice in this sound. Can we turn up my audio, my game audio in my ear just a little bit more?
1. Attention. Attention.
Just stay calm.
5,000 feet. 10,000 feet.
I like the reflections you get to see of your face in the window as you're kind of ascending. Very well done. And then you get your first kind of glimpses of the city.
I also really love the music.
Yeah.
So we got some questions in chat about the contest. pcper.com/Bioshock, is that right?
Yep, that's correct.
Yep. So if you go to that page, guys, there's a form. All you have to do is enter your name once, answer the mystery question at the bottom however you like. Your question or your wherever you live is taken, so I have an easier time shipping the product to you, but it is open worldwide.
As soon as we kind of get to a stopping point here, maybe we'll stop and do our first giveaway.
Sure.
And move on. There's a lot of religious undertones in this game. There's a lot of racial undertones in this game. Not even really undertones. I'd say that's pretty up front.
Yeah, that's kind of in your face. Someone asked, is it worth going to a 120 hertz monitor? You know, if somebody had asked me that up until about 2 weeks ago, I would have shrugged and said, whatever. But I saw my first 120 hertz, like current gen 120 hertz panel 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago. It looked amazingly smooth compared to the 60 hertz panel, and it wasn't the motion. There was a test we were running internally. We have a test pattern that scrolls text across the screen really quickly, and the text was a completely blurry mess on the 60 hertz monitor, but on the 120 hertz, it was fast, but not unreadable. It was crisp. So I think if you really get the opportunity to go to a 120 hertz panel, I think it's definitely worth it.
Do you know what
very
specific
good technology
monitor that was?
You know, I can't remember. I think it was a Samsung or an Asus panel, one of the two big makers of those types of panels. Other question is 120 hertz or 1440? I don't think those are mutually exclusive anymore, but it's troublesome to find a display output that would power that.
14 to do 25 by 14, 120 hertz, you're going to have to buy one of those Korean displays and overclock it.
Yeah, Cat Leap.
Yeah.
Or whomever.
Or yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And even that's hit or miss.
Yeah. I've been trying to get a hold of some that will do 120 hertz.
Heaven.
Without the sinner,
At 25 by 14, but they are harder to find.
Unless I want to get made.
forgiveness.
So actually, the beginning of this game is very similar, I feel, to the beginning of the first Bioshock, where you kind of go to a lighthouse, you go to a lighthouse in this one. You descend in Bioshock, you ascend in this one, and you kind of are in this weird kind of sanctuary almost looking thing before you actually emerge out into the rest of the world. The connections are very strong between the two games, but
I saw this
2 hours
amazing
I've played,
picture on Reddit about Bioshock where it was a black and white image, and on the top half of the frame was the Bioshock Infinite,
Yep.
like a skyline of Bioshock Infinite with the lighthouse, and on the bottom half of the frame, in a mirror image, like an inverted mirror image, was the original Bioshock, and you could see that although it was the same landscape mirrored, you could totally see how the original Bioshock universe was sort of like an opposite or an inverted version of Infinite. It was a very neat picture. I wish I could find it again.
Yeah, good luck trying to use the search on Reddit.
Just use Google.
Just use Google.
Might as well get it over.
But already you can, like, I have to accept being baptized at the beginning of this game. There's a lot going on here. There's a bunch of creepy guys all dressed in white robes, cloaks. Preacher kind of looks scary as well. Talking about the bosom of Columbia. Yeah.
I don't know, brothers and sisters, but this one
He's kind of an ass too.
clean to me.
I don't know. He doesn't look clean yet. Let's hold him underwater a little bit longer.
Who's there? Who's there?
And you kind of wake up. This looks different. This is a flashback. You see on the table a gun and what looks to be some remnants of perhaps some betting gone bad.
Go away.
Mr. DeWitt! Mr. DeWitt!
And when I first played this, I thought for sure that statue was pointing a gun at me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lots of God rays here. Well done as it kind of goes through the arm of the statue. Very nice.
That's another good point. Totally forgot about those.
Yeah.
The game has tons of point light shafts.
Well, let's take this opportunity here to do
Giveaway it up?
giveaway. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Let me refresh here, see how many entries we have, and then we'll go to our favorite site at random.org
Mm-hmm.
and generate the first winner. Let's give away one of the game keys. This will give you a copy of Tomb Raider and Bioshock Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
3504. As I reach out random numbers to everybody.
Well, hopefully I can actually give out these keys immediately straight through IRC private chat.
Well, I don't know.
I
They
will
didn't
also
put their
send by
chat in
email.
here. They didn't put their chat name in here, so I'd be
That's a
hesitant
bummer.
to do that.
Oh well.
So the first winner is Eric Soldier. Soldierer. That's how the Americans would say it. I imagine there's Soldier from Germany. And his answer to "Would you kindly" is "Give me a new graphics card." No, but how about a free copy of Tomb Raider and Bioshock Infinite?
That's almost the same thing.
I think so. Soldier. So what we'll do is I'll still send you the email with their email addresses and that kind of stuff after the fact to get the winners and that kind of deal.
Right.
Let's play a little bit more, and then we'll do a card and a game pack
All
after
right.
that.
Speaking of graphics cards, while you're playing, when we get to that, everyone, the cards will take a couple weeks to get to you. We have to receive them from the manufacturer, check them out, make sure they work, and then repackage it and send it on to you. So it could be up to 3 weeks for that to happen. They have to
Okay.
come on the slow boat from Taiwan. Take some time.
Is there a fast boat from Taiwan? I guess they're called planes.
No.
So great shot here of Columbia. You get to see some of the workings. You see all the floating sections of the city. You see the transport hub. What do they call that? The rail system.
The zip lines, I think they're called.
Yeah. And then how these interconnect and Let you walk across them.
Waterfall and everything.
And I think the time period, what's the time period for this? I think that the first date you see says 1912.
Yeah, it's like 19 teens. Is that how you would say that? The
Close.
19s?
See, it's cool. Like, here's the cloak and suit store just kind of floated over from someplace else to land and kind of go into place. And then here they have their mechanical horses. Quite literally, mechanical horses. Not Model Ts, but actual mechanical horses. Great looking stuff here.
Sorry, pal. You gotta wait like all the rest.
We have a parade to watch first.
Seems legit.
Yeah. That guy with the beard, that's Comstock, I believe. He obviously thinks very highly of himself.
The person on the PA sounds like Cornelius, I think his name, Pierce's dad from Community.
A miracle child is born. The future of the city is secured. What's up, lady? Push that guy off. Pretty dangerous.
Will multi-platform games be better optimized for PC when next-gen consoles come out? Well, if you can take the PS4 as any indication, which we know is x86, I think it would be safe to say, probably. When you have a console and a computer sharing the same common architecture, it makes it easier to develop a game that would translate well between the two platforms. And the PS4, from what we know about the hardware, is quite advanced. So I think we will see much better quality console ports going forward, but it's just speculation on my part.
Do not alert Comstock.
I like this. It's funny when he gets his telegram
Whatever you do not pick numbers.
early on there.
Stop.
He doesn't seem to question the fact that he just got a telegram for a place that he just showed up at, and also that creepy looking kid knew exactly where to find him. And all that stuff. So maybe be a little bit more questioning main
Why,
character
good day to you, sir.
going forward.
You were still getting harassed for inverted mouse. I love it.
They can't tell what I'm doing. Like, it's not like I'm showing the options. I don't understand all the hate. This game, if they play this game, they will understand that their hatred towards inverted mouse gamers is dangerous, and they should be careful.
It's unnatural.
So in Bioshock Infinite, the Vigors are what used to be, what was it in Bioshock? Plasmids. And Salts is basically your Eve, which is like mana, essentially. And they have this set up very well. So rather than just like a normal tutorial, you show up to this fair, and there's all these carnival games where you pick up a shotgun and you shoot things, or you practice using a vigor, or you practice, targeting people with different levels of magic, essentially. And it's a good way of teaching you how to use something without just saying, okay, here's the tutorial, right? And then they have your vending machines, right, that you can walk up to, and you can buy certain things. I don't have any money yet, but you can buy some things there. That very much like the original Bioshock in that regard as well.
Even going back to the original System Shock, which was the spiritual predecessor to the entire Bioshock franchise, it also had the vending machines and was also an irrational game.
Oh yeah, that's right, it was, wasn't it?
Does Bioshock Infinite support certain anti-aliasing methods? Actually, it is not multi-sampling TXAA or FXAA, it's MLAA, the AMD built anti-aliasing technology.
I assume that's enabled when we have the Ultra preset running.
That is correct.
Okay. Here's a creepy scene where we learn that doing drugs is bad.
Major League Anti-Aliasing. For those of you who don't know, and I know Robert probably does, morphological anti-aliasing.
Press to turn machines into allies.
Major League. I like that one too, though. You should try that next.
Yeah, it's good marketing right there.
All right, so I just got a capability to turn machines on my side. That will be very helpful. Immediately to this person's right, where there's a machine,
Sorry.
that will not let me into the
The
fair.
raffle is all sold out.
The raffle is all sold out.
Reserved for dignitaries and very
Apparently it's reserved for
important
dignitaries only. And I'm not important enough until I do that.
persons. Well, if it isn't Assemblyman Buford, your spot at the raffle awaits. Don't know why I didn't recognize you before.
And then there's this creepy
Or
moment.
tails.
Come on, let me through. Heads.
Or tails.
What do you think, guys? Heads or tails?
Heads.
Heads. Told you.
I don't understand the significance
Called
of
it.
this all yet.
Chin up.
In the 2 hours you play, you see them a couple times, and they always act very strangely like this. And you can see if you look at the marker that he's wearing, it's been heads every time. I don't know. There's a whole lot of really creepy stuff. Listen to what this song that these girls sing.
The young ones misbehave, escorts children to their grave. Never backtalk, never lie, or he'll drop you from the
Well,
Never back
it's
talk
really
will
like
drop
Ring
you
Around
from
the
the sky.
Rosies, which was
That's true.
the bubonic plague song. Creepy, creepy.
My role model? Or Lady Ghost?
This little
See that
beauty?
thing? I want that thing. I will have that thing.
We're gonna flush the Vox out of the
All the
Skyline
things?
system.
Madam Lutece, I have read all your books on the sciences.
This is kind of weird,
Mama
too.
says it's not a fit occupation for a lady, but I think she's jealous
Not a
of
good
our
sign.
cleverness. Is it true that
Does it
only
look like
you are
a
allowed to
billboard
visit
for
the
something
girl
that they're
in the
happy to
tower?
have on their
If the
little
lambs
island
own
here?
her too, I should like to meet her, as we would have much in
False
common.
shepherd.
Warmest regards, Constance.
And now, the 1912 raffle has officially...
All right, this is the first place where things kind of get weird. Keep in mind
Sorry, no sale.
Silly. There's never a charge for the raffle. You've been sleeping under a rock?
the telegram I got at first were don't pick number 77.
That's a lucky number.
Well, guess what?
I'll be rooting for you.
You picked number 77.
The bowl! Is that not the prettiest young white girl in all of Columbia?
Oh boy.
Right then.
Yeah, right there you kind
The
of...
winner is number 77!
Oh, what do you know?
Over here, he's the winner.
Number 77, come and claim your prize! First throw!
And it hits you.
It was all me, please, please! Please, what are you doing?
Come on! Are you gonna throw it? Or are you taking your coffee black these days?
Oh god.
What a novel joke. I do like this right here where they time you. Like, you have to make a decision, right? Obviously, you throw it at the announcer here. But don't worry.
Time's a wasting, my boy!
Wait! It's him!
Now, where'd you get that brand, boy? Don't you know that makes you the backstabbing snake in the grass false shepherd?
The false shepherd! And we ain't letting no false shepherd into our flock! Show them what we got planned, boys!
Looks dangerous.
Stop him! Stop him! False shepherd!
Oh, snapping necks.
Come on now!
Oh, man. For a game that had kind of a nice artistic tone to it, you do a lot of that kind of stuff. Oh, man. And as with the original Bioshock, you go loot everybody. I haven't got my gun yet. Do I get a gun yet here, Ken?
Fight like a man!
Oh, snap. I think his baseball bat's gonna do any good. So. think I just cut his head off.
I think Bioshock Infinite just got compared to Honey Boo Boo.
I'm not sure. Did they cut people's heads off in Honey Boo Boo? Did I miss something?
Cover the gate!
I want to cut my head off for Honey Boo Boo.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
Oh, yeah! Oh, look, I got a weapon.
Soldier of Fortune. What an amazing game that was. And by amazing, I mean good for about 20 minutes of hilarity until moving on.
Okay, I'm going to take a break here and give away some stuff, Robert. That was a downer of a moment, but now I feel like after having killed probably 10 or 12 people already, it's time to take a relaxing break.
A relaxing video card break.
And give some stuff away. We're going to give away, so hurry up while I'm talking, pcpro.com/Bioshock. Go there, fill out the form at the bottom, and we'll give away some products. While we wait for those late individuals to fill out the form, remind us of why we're here, why AMD is sponsoring these types of events to promote the Never Settle Reloaded bundles you guys are running.
Sure. The elevator pitch, for those of you who don't know, we have this program going on called Never Settle Reloaded, where if you buy a graphics card from AMD, anything from the HD 7790 or up, you get up to $120 in free games from AMD, including Crysis 3, Bioshock Infinite, and Tomb Raider. And you have to buy from a participating retailer, but most of the major ones are participating, but free games for video cards. So we thought that it would be nice to take these games, sit down, show you how they run, tell you about the technologies, and give away some free stuff as a thank you to the people and the sites that have supported us throughout the program.
Very cool. So now here's what we're going to do now. We're going to pick a winner. We're going to draw two winners. The first one will win the Tomb Raider plus Bioshock game key set. The second one will win the Gigabyte Radeon HD 7870 overclocked card. All right, here we go. Our first winner is... So I write it down so I don't forget the number. Billy. Didn't put the last name, but Billy is the winner from Croatia. And I'm not going to read what he put for Would You Kindly.
Oh, come on.
No.
Actually, I don't want to know.
Not appropriate. Okay. I think maybe he's played this game before. So might be there. But that's okay. Congratulations to Billy Blank, as I will call him. And then the winner of the Radeon, Gigabyte Radeon 7870 will be... Where's your name at here? Ricardo. Would you kindly? And his response was, well, it depends. And I think that's an appropriate response. Having not known the complete question, it's better to hedge your bet.
Never answer a question in the affirmative until you know what the question is.
Right. So Ricardo wins that. Congratulations on...
And Ricardo is from?
Portugal.
Ah, I was kind of expecting that.
Portugal. Well, you're smarter than I am. Ricardo Ramirez from Portugal.
And Europe takes the gold in the video card department.
They are. It's the right time zone for them. You know, well, I guess, let's see. Is it 5 hours ahead of us there?
It is.
So it's 1 a.m., 2 a.m. there-ish. Yeah, depending on how far east you want to go. But okay, so yeah, we've got one more graphics card to give away, the MSI Radeon HD 7870, and another game key set, Tomb Raider and Bioshock Infinite. Now, let's see how much more of this game I can play without dying. Yeah, it's always a question.
Someone in chat mentioned that it's ironic that I run the Trust Effects hair marketing because, you know,
You sell them paradise and the customers expect...
The
irony is not lost on me, I assure you.
Oh, okay. What do you mean? Are you trying to say that... Why would that be funny? I don't get it.
I have a man in
Trust Effects hair works very well on me.
It's easy to render?
Very easy.
Why, you can
So I like this. One of my favorite parts of Bioshock was the hacking the turrets and that kind of stuff, where you could then pit them against the other people. So you kind of do that now, but with Vigors. Only this time it wears off. So you got to pay attention. If I had converted this guy to be on my side and then I continue to walk forward, he will shoot me in the back eventually. So now actually I'll blow him up so he can't do that anymore. I may regret that later, but we'll see. Ooh, a sandwich. Oh, where do those guys come from? I think every game should have that voice say headshot when you get a headshot.
What, lifted one straight out of
from Unreal.
Quake 3 or Unreal?
Unreal Tournament, yeah. That's my favorite one of those.
People are begging you to use the iron sights.
What is that? Oh. Nope, not that one. Oh, that? I don't need that. From the hip, son. Oh. Police line, I think I will cross. There, are they happier now? Use the cross.
It's getting hot. What's going on?
Oh yeah, this guy. That's probably not good. I do like they have the option to turn on what do they call it, where you can see the hit points getting taken off of the enemies as you shoot them, so you actually know you're making contact.
It's kind of like scrolling combat text from an MMO. I like it.
Yeah. I just drank a bottle of naked lady juice, apparently, and gave me fire hands. I should tell you kids, be careful.
You know, that's how we do on these video streams. It says, came to watch Bioshock, then I learned about haircut. Yup.
To create an explosive trap.
We teach. We aim to please. So now I can light things on fire like that. Yes, no, I know. Fireworks. Buckets full of fireworks everywhere, kids. That is how you run a safe city. At least they all kind of wait for me to kill their friends. Like, oh, that's not going to be good. Oh, there goes your head. Yes, I do have it set on easy. But I won't play it like this. What's your favorite part, Robert? Do you want the shoulder, the belly, the ham?
Shoulder? Question mark? I don't know.
Belly of the pig, you think that's the best? Is that the ribs?
Tripe, sure, bring it on.
Oh, that's the bacon. Okay.
Yeah, the bacon.
I didn't know that.
See, you went the fun route and said bacon. I was thinking pig, stomach lining, grossness. Man, sorry. I got a question. That's actually a good one. What is 1999 mode in Bioshock Infinite? So for those of you who don't know, there is a difficulty mode called 1999 mode built into Bioshock Infinite. It is the single hardest difficulty in the game, and it's not just a matter of them adjusting the difficulty sliders to be like, oh, the NPCs shoot more accurately, they have more hit points. They're more observant, they have more hit points, they're more accurate, there's more NPCs, they're more intelligent, and you get less ammunition. There's all sorts of stuff that is different about this mode. Now, Irrational hasn't said a whole lot about it. So that's really all the information that I'm aware of, and I haven't played the difficulty mode myself, but it is quite the challenge. As one gaming website put it, average gamers are going to hate Bioshock Infinite's 1999 mode.
We know some people on our podcast that they would claim that's the only way to play it, so we'll see.
I'm tempted to give it a shot after I run through it and get the story.
Hook onto them.
So this is cool. One of the interesting aspects of Infinite is the whole idea of speed and motion. That definitely wasn't there in the original Bioshock. You moved very slow. The Big Daddies moved very slow. You were underwater. Things kind of moved very slow. But in Infinite, you get to do cool stuff like this.
Damn.
Well, it's interesting that you mention that because it kind of reflects, I think, the general direction of the game industry, which way back in Bioshock's days wasn't all that fast. You didn't have run keys in games. You moved at a fixed speed, and that was all you got to do.
Right.
Now it could be a little bit faster Twitch, like Unreal Tournament or Quake 3 Arena, but by and large, fixed movement speed. And these days, you're ziplining all over the place. You have grappling hooks and all sorts of fun stuff. So I think it's cool that they've kept up with the times on such a, I guess, minor detail.
Who's there?
Not me. Oh, what's up?
Shepard has come.
Look at that salt. See, now I've turned onto my side. Now shoot everybody. Except for me. Good job. Away. Ken, remind me if I'm going the wrong direction.
Stop firing!
What the?
Don't let him take a shot!
See, there it happened. Started firing enemies. Where am I going up here? Yeah. So far we really haven't gotten into the major plot points of the story, but you get an idea of the action pace and some idea of what a kind of idea of what the story will be like. It's like these people, I'm not shooting them, they're trying to help me. That's nice of them. And they happen to have a painting of Abraham Lincoln in their study.
Legit.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Someone in chat is telling you to go back because there's some hidden house. I don't know how long ago that was with respect to the stream, though.
Oh, yeah. That's all right. We're just going for demo purposes. I'm already further than this. I may have already found that house.
Does this game continue from previous Bioshock storylines? No, but it is related.
I think there are similar themes, I would say, but I don't think that the stories are necessarily intertwined, unless it happens later in the game, which I think would be cool. But oh, in the face. Comstock fights the Serpent of Nations.
Whatever that is.
Yeah. Very cool ambiance. Oh, look. Crows are everywhere. That can only end well, right? Order of the Raven.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a statue of John Wilkes Booth. So that is a direct, I would say, counterpoint to the last building we were in.
Someone said in chat, AMD Robert is constantly staring into our souls. Well, it's this new thing that I'm trying. Let me know how it goes.
It's a staring contest, and he always wins.
Skype had a software update that has completely broken my ability to use a webcam with the service. So we're going audio only today, and hopefully I can beat it into submission later.
We'll try to help you out. Usually we do, preliminary tests earlier in the day, but since we had done this so many times before...
You would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's crows eating pieces of meat. All right. Can't shoot the crows, huh? Mm-hmm. I thought it'd be like the chickens in Zelda. Is that which one it is? Where they...
You know, I was never a big Zelda player, and I know I'm probably going to get strung up for
Maybe not in
admitting,
this audience. This audience tends to be more PC-centric. I would tell you that you missed out on a great part of gaming culture. So here we go. More guys in hoods standing around chanting and talking. Meanwhile, there's a guy down there with a bunch of crows flying around him. And they have a mural of George Washington behind him, which is a little bit of a questionable tactic, I guess I would say.
George Washington is my favorite character in this whole game. No more spoilers.
Oh, man. All right, well, I'll try to talk about it. No, I don't think I'll survive. I do like when the bodies are done being there. When the game has decided that the bodies are no longer relevant to the story, they're just replaced by boxes.
Yeah, that was an interesting touch.
That are filled with the things that they used to have.
I guess it's no better than something dropping a bag of loot somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah. Alright, I'll take this. Give me some extra health.
Just what the doctor ordered.
I want that key. Hey, there's where I got that key. Optional, find the lock that fits the key.
Optional means mandatory, right?
Not for the game streams, at least. It depends. Is it a stealth mission? Because
you're right. You shouldn't try.
You know how well I do the stealth missions. So let's see where this takes us. And then, is it moving?
Somebody asked me about the mouse sensitivity in Infinite. Doesn't really bother me, but I don't.
I did have to turn mine all the way down.
Okay.
Yeah, I did notice that earlier. Ken, do you read Latin?
Yeah.
What's that say?
Something.
Okay. Something defend. Gotcha.
Okay, perfect.
Great. This is why
Google reason.
This is why we keep the college kids around. That's. Anytime you see light from behind the bookshelf. Oh man, I didn't find this before, Ken. I want some special. Ooh, new pants.
Well, isn't that awesome?
Who wouldn't want extra pants?
You always need emergency pants. You never know.
All right, well. Let's see where this takes us.
Flannel pants, I hope, says Slugbug55.
Now you don't own flannel pants, do you? Oh,
Not yet.
Oh.
I see flannel pants and I just think of like 1930s butt flap pajamas go out to the outhouse. That's just creepy.
Alright. Well, we just saw a bunch of crows eat a guy. So I think we know what's coming up for me.
Lady, let me pass your test!
Oh, snap. I want to.
Excuse me, failed Jedi. In Canada, we wear beaver skin pants.
Beaver skin pants?
Or moose skin. He's right. Mr. Greek 360 is right. I'm not Canadian. I just live in Toronto.
True. Alright, so here's where I get... Look at that cartoon crow. Oh, that's not a tongue, that's a knife through its beak. Drink the crow liquid. And this was kind of creepy, too. The crow shows up with the meat coming out of its beak. Yeah.
Press to summon murderous crows. Hold and release to create a nest trap.
Hooray!
Alright, well, sorry guys, you happen to be the first ones nearby, so have crows. As if the crows weren't enough, I stab him in the side of the head. Did you look that up yet, Ken? What that means? No? Alright. Oh, I tried.
Someone asked if I still have the Febreze. Survey says yes. As a matter of fact, I do.
Oh.
It could be my stand-in in lieu of a webcam.
We didn't put that in the avatar representing you on the screen, so some people might be confused. I do like the air strikes, the skyline strikes. Where you jump from the hooks or the skylines to murderate somebody with the hook.
That's enough!
Any disclosable info about future Gaming Evolved titles? Yes, there will be future Gaming Evolved titles.
That doesn't count.
It's the best I can do.
Mystery games, huh?
Mystery games.
All right, so let's see, where are we at time-wise? Okay, let's do. Let's give away our game key, our final game key, and then we'll go a little bit further and give away our final graphics card. What do you say for that?
Sounds like a great idea.
The URL is pcper.com/Bioshock. Go there. News post brought you here. At the bottom, you'll find a form. Fill it out. Enter in for our contest. And we were going to give away a brand new product, so I'll give you just a couple of seconds to enter that form. And while I do that, I will maybe engage Robert in a discussion about what your experience was like at... Did you go to PAX? No.
Unfortunately, I did not. Nor GDC, sadly.
You went to South by Southwest, though.
I did. Well, sort of. We ran an event. The geniusly ran an event the day before South by opened, so there was no party to go to but ours. And it was called Techno Graffiti. We hired Ben Heck, the famous modder Ben Heckendorn, who was a really nice guy, to put together a bunch of case mods for us based on various AMD platforms, all the way from embedded systems the size of a playing card, basically, all the way up to, a big extended ATX sort of system. And we invited people out to come take a look at the system, see our technologies, learn about the games, have some drinks, just have a good time. And it was a really good event. I always enjoy going down to Austin. It is one of my favorite cities on the planet. And so that was AMD South by Southwest Techno Graffiti, and had a good time.
Great. I wish I could have gone. I'd love Austin as well, and I've never been to South by Southwest.
You have family now in Austin, do you not?
No. I have a friend, but definitely don't call him family.
Oh, okay.
But I lived there over this past summer for 3 months.
That's what I was thinking.
While my wife is finishing some nursing practice stuff.
Gotcha.
So I did pick our winner for a Gaming Evolved / Never Settle Reloaded bundle key that gives you Tomb Raider and Bioshock Infinite, and the winner is Melissa in the United States. And her response to "Would you kindly" was "Make me some waffles."
Yeah,
Make
waffles.
me some
I'm all about
waffles.
it.
Waffles. Okay. All right. I'm down for that. I like waffles. The answer is no. I won't make you waffles, Melissa. But congratulations on winning some games. So stay tuned. We do have one more winner for an MSI Radeon HD 7870 graphics card. Let's dive into a few more minutes of Bioshock Infinite before we give that away. If we see any more questions along the route, Robert, obviously feel free to engage the viewers while I murderate some fools.
Sure. Well, waffles seems to be a popular topic because now everybody's talking about them. Ryan, will you make me some waffles?
Well, if you come to Kentucky, I will make you waffles. We have Waffle Iron, and we have Waffle House.
Wow.
And we have IHOP. And we have all kinds of waffle acquisition techniques here in the great state of Kentucky.
Also, speaking of giveaways, we did mention when we started all of these Never Settle Reload that the third Aces board, a large, given away at the end of these, or is that something you're still planning?
You broke up a little bit there. Say that again.
So you mentioned that a certain Aces board.
Did we lose Robert? I swear I'm not doing it on purpose.
Right here?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Do we want to call Robert back? That's really weird. Let's call Robert back real quick.
Round 500. Are we back?
I think so. I hear you.
Okay, cool. So as I was saying, when we started all of these Never Settle Reloaded game streams, we talked about a certain Aces product.
Oh, the
expensive
Ares.
Aces product. Is that still in the cards for you?
It definitely still is. But what we ran into was an issue where we couldn't give it away on this timeline anymore. So we were going to hold off a little bit and make sure that we had the right timing on that. We're still going to give it away.
Okay.
That was still the promise of the card, and that's definitely still what we're going to do. We may have to do it maybe on some other streams upcoming. I guess I'm able to say right now.
Okay.
But stay tuned. We're not backing off on that. That's for sure. Why are you shooting me?
Apparently, I have bleed flannel blood. Sure.
You should get that looked at.
It is biologically possible.
I think you should still get that looked at, just personally.
Sure.
I'm sure there's people in the chat room complaining that I haven't been looting all the bodies or buying weapons, ammo at the different vending machines, but it's all in order to speed things up. So we're at the first point now where you get to use the Skyline freight
so good.
rails, and it's really awesome at presenting the idea of speed, and I hope people on the stream don't get seasick or something. Just love that. Ooh. Love that.
There is threat. The false shepherd here in Colombia, full of hate and murder.
I even like when it takes you up hills, it kind of sounds like a roller coaster. Click, 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 click.
Yeah, the old chain crank loops.
Yeah.
His intent is ruin.
Congratulations on to whomever won that free Bioshock Infinite code in chat. Someone was quite fast in the draw. Nicely done.
Would you just paste one in there?
Sure did.
This is why they like having you around, Robert. Even when you showed up yesterday, I heard that you gave away a game key in the chat.
I did. I figured, hey, I was already here, so might as well give something away.
That's pretty awesome. Let's get on this other. Yeah, here's so you can kind of look down and see right towards the fans that keep the whole cities afloat. Sorry to do this to you, fool. But not really.
Down some doors. I'm not busting down any doors. You know what kind of swells live here?
Oops. Oh, dang it.
There's another skyline up above. Somehow get some elevation, I could probably reach it.
Don't give me a promotion.
This guy's got some hops. Back on the Skyline. Like I said, I'm only a couple of hours into it, and Robert, I think you're about the same as well, but I think the Skyline stays your primary mode of transportation throughout.
It is, yeah. It's one of their major features of the game.
Wasn't sure if I was going to make that.
Stand down! Stand down!
Across the Delaware with the flaming sword and the
Oh, hey,
wings
look,
of
you can still kill those guys.
Watch over me. Let me strike. Father
Sorry.
Washington.
Sorry. Sorry about that. Sorry. So this is the first time you meet the Prophet, and this will probably be right after this is where we'll end. Just give you a little idea of where the story goes from here. But again, we're still very, very early into Bioshock Infinite. We're not telling you anything you won't see in your first sit down with the game.
Someone in chat asked, will we see more Trust Effects-enabled games in 2014? The answer is, I do not know for certain. What I do know, however, is that game developers are very interested in the technology. They have approached us about it, so it is conceivable that we would see some additional games with Trust Effects, but I do not know which ones will have it, if any, for certain.
Okay.
You don't know me, pal.
You don't know me. Consider line the game so far.
As blood as yours. You know why these men will die for me? Because I have seen their future in the glory, and hence they are content. What brought you to Columbia, Booker?
But Stan,
Bring
why are you
us
so
the
mean?
girl and wipe away the debt? This will end in blood. Then again, it always does with you, doesn't it? It always ends in blood. You've come to lead my lamb astray, but thy crook is bent.
He has blood on his finger. Does he ever show where he gets that blood
from? The sorrow from which you came.
Maybe it's better not to ask those questions. I'm bleeding from. Let's not get into it.
Next question was Trust Effects made by AMD, and if so, why give it to NVIDIA as well? Trust Effects was made in collaboration with us and the developers behind Tomb Raider. But it is primarily an AMD engineered technology. We didn't necessarily give it to NVIDIA, but we don't believe in making technologies proprietary. So if we do GPU physics stuff like Trust Effects Hair, anyone can use it. High definition ambient occlusion, another technology that we developed, we didn't make it proprietary to AMD hardware. HD 3D technology, or Stereo 3D, anybody can make a 3D component compatible with that ecosystem, and as long as they send it to us to check out, you can put the label on the box. So it's better for everyone involved. It helps the reach of the technology. It helps gamers to have access to the technology rather than just cutting off 50% of the market. So Trust Effects is just another thing that we would give to everyone because that's the way it should be done.
Good to hear. More creepy praying people.
Okay.
Someone says I'm Santa Claus. It is entirely possible.
Forgives everything.
Santa Claus has beard, at least.
And flannel.
So I don't have to.
I appreciate that Booker steps up to the plate on this airship and just immediately goes to the controls and thinks that he'll be able to fly it.
It's like any other movie.
Yeah.
Hell out of here.
And then the creepy praying lady caught the whole building on fire. Way to go. Jump. Pretty sweet.
That was close.
This Santa Claus still has a graphics card to give away.
We do.
Electricity!
Alright. So I think this takes us into another area.
PC Per Fan 23 asks, when is the 7990 coming out and what is the price point? Well, I can't answer either of those questions, but for those of you who have not heard, we are in fact working on an official reference AMD Radeon HD 7990. I think everybody that was at GDC or is anyway interested in what happens at GDC covered that fact.
Yes.
But it is a dual GPU 7900 series graphics card, and we are working on one.
What do you... I don't know how much of this you can say, but what is the relationship between what is kind of already out and being called a 7990 and what this product will be?
Well, it's I would say it's similar, right? It's when those guys, PowerColor and Asus, came to make their 7990s first, they had to ask us to use the brand.
Right.
So the fact that those cards exist with that brand name at all, well, mostly the PowerColor, is an endorsement from us. We worked with their engineering teams to make sure that the boards were engineered correctly. And Asus and PowerColor both have great teams in and of themselves. We helped validate the cards for them, made sure the drivers worked okay for them. So it was definitely a joint process. And we were happy to let them do it because they have a lot more flexibility to make triple slot designs and 3 8-pin power connectors, just things that we can't do because we have to appease a larger cross-section of the graphics industry with our products. So I would say ultimately our 7990 will be in the same vein as products that have been released, and we definitely took the success of those products as inspiration.
Cool. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to stop here. We're going to give away our final graphics card, and then if you want to, it's not very much further, just a few minutes further to see Elizabeth for the first time. It's not that dramatic of an event or anything like that, but just in case anybody didn't want to see it, we will give away the last product before we get there, so you don't feel like we're forcing you to stick around for something you may not want to see. So again, it's too late now, but PCPer.com/Bioshock was the place to go to enter for this contest by filling out that form at the bottom. But I'm going to go ahead and draw our last winner, and this winner will get the MSI Radeon 7870. I almost said 7990. That would have
caused a panic.
Yeah, it would have. It would have. So let's see. All right, the winner of this graphics card is loading very slowly. Loading very slowly. Really, machine.
I see the internet likes you as much as Skype likes me.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
My favorite game. Oh. Okay, so most recently, Dead Space 3. Out of left field, I was looking for a game to play with a buddy co-op, and it ended up sucking 14 hours a day for like 2 days in a row out of my life. I just sat there like a zombie and killed zombies. The game is awesome. It is the best co-op experience I've ever had. And now that I've sunk my toes into Bioshock, again, I'm hooked. When I get off this stream, I'm going to play that. But in terms of total hours played, it was on PC for Dead Space 3. In terms of total hours played, my favorite game of all time is probably EverQuest. I don't even want to admit how many hours I put into that freaking game,
Robert,
but I still love it.
You make
Completely
fun of me
nostalgic
for
about it.
inverted controls. EverQuest. Man. I don't think I remember.
Evercrack.
Yeah, I know. All right, I have picked our winner of the graphics card, and her name is Alicia.
Woo!
Lives in the U.S., and to the question of would you kindly, replied, I don't care.
Well then.
I don't think as many people got the joke as I was hoping would get. That's the primary driving line in the original Bioshock. You don't remember that either, do you, Ken?
It's a long time ago.
Man, but it's supposed to rekindle all those memories.
When did the original Bioshock come out? That was forever and a day.
2006, 7, something like that. It's been a while. I don't
know.
I'm still disappointed. You're not taking that away from me. So before we go on and maybe kind of finish this part of the level of Bioshock, is there anything you want to say? You want to put forward, offer up to the viewers of our streams, of our Never Settle Reloaded stream here for Bioshock Infinite?
Sure. So I wrote a blog about Bioshock Infinite, about all the tech features that go into the game, a little bit about the partnership that we have with Irrational Games, and I'm going to post it in the chat here. And so if you're interested in reading more about the things that make Bioshock Infinite unique for the PC version, it's a good resource, and I think you can actually learn a lot if you're new to graphics and graphics rendering or want to learn more about technologies. I just posted it. It's a good resource. Also, Never Settle Reloaded is of course why we are doing all of these. You can get free games for buying any AMD graphics card, HD 7790 or higher, at a participating retailer. AMD.com/Never Settle Reloaded for those retailers and for more information. And that is my spiel. Over to you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Robert. We appreciate your support on this, AMD's support on this, and I know it takes time to sit here and BS with us on Skype while playing games. We'll have to pick some more that have some co-op action in it, so you can get more involved. I think. All right, I'm just going to skip through this part here. So what's interesting is that we keep walking to a room that says specimen is dangerous. The quarantine levels go up each and every time that we move through these different doorways. Let's see, stupid chair. We'll use this projector. You can actually see pictures of her where she learns how to use a lockpick. Conveniently placed video.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's where she is shown investigating codes, also conveniently placed. These are all themes that will be important. Smart and thievery, thievish, thieving-ish, and she likes to paint. Apparently, the Eiffel Tower. Do not approach Siphon while Specimen is awake. I honestly don't know what this area means yet, where it looks like a room with a bunch of electricity, some liquid, some fluid, some substance, and then a bunch of speakers pointed at it. And is that singing I hear? Is that like her singing or something like that? I get the impression that maybe somehow she is enabling this power to of some kind through her voice or through her song, because those are big speakers. You'd like some speakers like that.
I want speakers like that.
Yeah. So now this door we're going to go through is the 168-hour quarantine. And how many days is that? 168 hours. 8 days, maybe? Yeah, go with that. So take the elevator. I don't know if we're going up or down. Probably up. Here you can see where she's worked.
Dressing room. That's where we need to go.
All right, so this will be a little segment. This will be a little bit spoilerish. If you don't want to watch it,
spoilers.
Disconnect the screen or turn away or something like that. If you want to keep hearing us talk, this will be. This I think will get you. I think this gets people interested in wanting to play this game to figure out. Oh, wait, this isn't the right part, is it? No. Well, the next little scene is where it gets the mystery going. And when I saw that particular moment, I was like, okay, I got to figure out what's going on now. Because then that song got stuck in your head, and Robert probably knows what song we're talking about already.
Mm-hmm.
Let me in. All right, here it is.
Whoa! Whatever that was, it's got nothing to do with the job at hand.
Not a very smart guy. So there you go. That was the most spoilerish thing we had that I've played so far. And yeah, that's Bioshock Infinite so far. I have to say, I'm not that much further than this. And what I've played, I don't know how much further you are, Robert.
I'm in the same ballpark.
Okay. But overall, very impressed with the gameplay and the story so far, for sure.
I think what it boils down to for me is that if you pick up, if you're the kind of person who only picks 2 or 3 games a year to play, I think Bioshock Infinite needs to be on that list. It is the ratings are so good that you can't ignore it, and the game has been in development by some of the best people for so long that you can't ignore it. It has amazing characters, really fantastic story, and I'm told the ending is just mind-blowingly awesome, which is a rarity in games which often have kind of weak endings.
True.
So please go out and play it, not for me, but for yourself.
All right, I think that's a good place to end. Robert, thank you again for joining us. Thank you, everybody who joined us in the live stream. Congratulations to everybody that won. Congratulations to those who didn't win but got to participate and have fun nonetheless, right? All right, guys? I encourage everybody to check out, what's the URL that they can go to get more information on the Never Settle Reloaded bundle as it is now? Is it amd.com/Never Settle Reloaded?
That is correct.
See, that's good. I just guessed on that, but I figured AMD's got some smart guys in there. They would make sure that that URL is going to point them in the right direction. So if you didn't win a card today, or you didn't win any of the game codes, you can still go buy a Radeon 7790 or above graphics card, as Robert's been saying, and get either, a combination of Tomb Raider and Bioshock, or Bioshock and Crysis 3, and some other game combos depending on what particular graphics cards you end up buying. So I really, really do appreciate your support on this and your help on this, Robert. It's been a lot of fun. And I love being able to give away stuff. So,
well, I also love giving away stuff. I appreciate the opportunity to come on, and thank you everybody for watching. And to the winners, congratulations. I'll be in touch by email.
All right, that's going to be it for this game stream. We will have more live events coming up very soon. On Wednesday, tomorrow, we record our podcast at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. The day after that, we do This Week in Computer Hardware. That is at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And then we have other live events planned for the weeks coming ahead. Just check out pcper.com or pcper.com/live, and there'll be a schedule on the right-hand side, just a little bit below some other information there, where you can see a countdown timer to our next upcoming event, which was requested by many people who are not in the Eastern or Pacific time zones. It makes things quite a bit easier. So thanks again for everybody for joining us, for hanging out in the chat room. We will see you next time on PC Perspective.